KOTV 6, Tulsa. This is the News on 6, the 10 o'clock update with Clayton Vaughn, Beth Rengel, meteorologist Jim Giles, and John Wall's Sports.
Tulsa runners want to run rapists out of Tulsa parks.
Do these children look worried about cholesterol? Maybe they should.
And later in sports, diamonds are a fan's best friend. It's time to play ball. Good evening, everyone. I'm Beth Rengel.
And I'm Clayton Vaughn. Help is on the way tonight for people worried about using some of Tulsa's nicest things, its parks. The city announced tonight that work begins this week to install lights along the River Parks Trail between 61st and 71st Streets. Volunteers helped clear brush from the trail area, but they can't clear the fear. Nightside reporter Laura Brewster has the story.
Rhonda Rigney and Tina Grippy each used to run on the trails and river parks alone. Not anymore. They and a third friend now jog using the buddy system.
I used to run down at that end of the river by myself, and there's too many trees. The path goes through too many trees, so I didn't want to do that anymore.
Fear created by 3 recent rapes has prompted a lot of women to start bringing along dogs or friends when they come here to work out. And experts say that's probably the smartest thing women can do. Though a few other ideas were also discussed at this meeting. A meeting hosted by the Tulsa Running Club, the Citizens Crime Commission, and the Tulsa Police Department.
The victims are always going to be, he'll find his victim. If a rapist wants to find someone, he's going to find his victim. But don't you be the victim. Don't you be the victim.
Tulsa Police Detective Gary Stansel told this audience it's true. The Police Sex Crimes Unit is working more cases this year than last year or the year before. But he says that doesn't mean women have to hide from life. Women can still take part in activities they enjoy, like running. But Stansel says women need to be more alert, more attentive to what's going on around them, and they need to adopt good safety habits. And these are some of the suggestions experts urge you to adopt. Always run with a partner. Vary your running times and routes, but let friends or family know your route. Be careful when someone stops you for directions. Keep your distance from them. Don't wear headsets. Ignore verbal harassment. And if you feel you are in danger, by all means scream and run for help. Experts admit you can follow all these safety rules and still be attacked, but they say adopting these rules will stack the odds on your side.
Good advice, of course, Laura. And it's good to hear, too, about those lights down at 61st, between 71st and 61st on Riverside. But there are other things going on, too.
Yes, there is. There's a lot more police presence down there to begin with. Police are devoting more manpower to the River Parks area than ever before. They have officers on bikes, on horses, and undercover. Now, Detective Stansel suggests the public now do more to encourage the legislature to provide more funds for our state's correctional system. He says we need to keep violent offenders locked up. Right now, many are being released early due to prison overcrowding. Clayton?
Okay, thank you, Laura Brewster. Beth?
Earlier today, some people gathered outside the Tulsa County Courthouse for a rape awareness rally. Demonstrators say too many people still think the subject of rape is taboo and that the legal system ignores rape cases unless they can be won. They hope to reduce the number of rapes by keeping the subject in front of the public. In Okmulgee, the district attorney wants the death penalty for 2 men accused of killing an Okmulgee auto shop owner. Security was tight at the county courthouse today because Richard Hammonds and Benny Jones have said they'll try to escape. They're charged with the murder of Eugene Slate during a holdup last June.
Tightened security at Okmulgee's jail comes a little too late. 2 more inmates escaped last night. The Okmulgee County District Attorney's Office says Sheriff Jim Hart gives everybody in Okmulgee County law enforcement a black eye. 21-year-old James Lee Morgan, 19-year-old James Lewis Morgan climbed out a kitchen window at the jail. The DA's office says the 2 were supposed to be locked up in their cells.
These people who have prior felony convictions and who are awaiting preliminary hearing and trials on multiple offenses should not be out running around. And it's particularly disturbing when the sheriff tells us that they're in lockdown, that they're not running around, that they are secure, and we turn around to find out they have free run of the 4th floor.
Everybody on the 4th floor is under constant lockdown per se because they cannot go anywhere other than what they did out the window.
The search for the escapees has now shifted out of Okmulgee. Sparks flew today at Tulsa's City Hall. A city council task force released the results of its 4-month investigation into the fire department. Among other things, the report says some firefighters don't have some protective gear they need because of possibly mismanaged funds. The task force members, Councilors Robert Nelson and Darla Hall, say Fire Chief Tom Baker has too much power. Mayor Randall today blasted the report.
We're disappointed, however, that the council task force report contains charges that are significantly lacking in documentation. In addition, the report is sometimes misleading, it is often vague, and appears to be designed more to discredit fire department management than to assist in identifying constructive and positive steps for management improvement.
Randall also attacked Hall for trying to oust Chief Baker. Hall denies that. The council discusses the investigation and the report tomorrow night. Randall says he's happy with Baker and the improvements being made in the fire department, and he will not go along with a formal investigation.
Governor Walters finally has a veto record, and it's 0 for 1 with 2 pending. Walters vetoed his first bill today, and lawmakers responded by overriding it. The issue, a study into the Department of Human Services. Walters said no, but the House and Senate immediately overrode the veto. Walters vetoed 2 other measures today, and one of those was also overridden by the House. The Senate makes its override attempt on that one tomorrow. There's been no vote in either House on the 3rd veto. Updating a story from 6, the Union School Board voted tonight to keep calling its soon-to-be-open elementary school Jarman Elementary. The school is named for former Superintendent Wesley Jarman. More than 500 people signed a petition opposing the name, but the school board tonight voted 4-1 to keep it named Jarman.
Coming up next on the update, problems for mothers-to-be at a Tulsa clinic.
And later, some wannabe guitarists doing their best to leave their mark on history and their impression on our eardrum.
Planning a trip south of the Red River tomorrow, lots of sunshine. Mild temperatures in Dallas, 75, 82 degrees coming up in Houston. Florida, a bit on the muggy side, scattered thunderstorms around Orlando at 88 degrees. New York City, rain expected, 67. Boston, wet and 60. In the north central states, Minneapolis, 40 degrees and rain. Rain and 69 in Chicago. Clearing skies along the Pacific Northwest coast, Seattle at 52. You're flying into LA, sunny 76, 89 in Phoenix. Green Country forecast just ahead.
They say that nature's splendor reaches full bloom in the Australian outback. That the beaches along the south of France stretch on for eternity. And that no romance is complete until you've strolled through the canals of Venice. But you won't find any of these places in any of those places, because they're all here in Texas. Texas, it's like a whole other country.
It's hard to believe that people who still have company picnics with 3-legged races and a tug-of-war are the same people who insure millions of drivers across America. Or that the same organization that provides peace of mind for millions of homeowners still celebrates birthdays with homemade cakes. Truth is, we didn't get to be one of America's largest insurance groups by being fancy. We did it by living up to this.
Ready for a great pizza deal? Just head for your phone.
Dial 628-8888.
Now at all Kin's Pizza locations, buy a large Kin's Supreme Pizza at the regular price, and we'll deliver a medium Kin's Pepperoni Pizza right along with it, absolutely free. Hurry, offer ends soon. That's a free medium Kin's Pepperoni Pizza when you buy a large Kin's Supreme at regular price.
628-8888.
On the surface, the Ozarks seem to be about the most beautiful place on earth. Yet beneath these hills, you'll find an even greater natural beauty, inside fantastic caverns. With delicate stalactites, crystalline formations, and massive columns draw visitors from around the world. At Fantastic Caverns, you'll ride through the cave, experiencing the natural beauty without disturbing it. Discover Fantastic Caverns, 10 minutes north of Bass Pro, Springfield, Missouri.
Poverty-level women consider the Morton Clinic in North Tulsa a safe haven. But now, close to 400 women who rely on the clinic for prenatal care and family planning may have the rug pulled out from under them. Center Director Leona Young says the only 2 OBGYN doctors in the clinic are quitting.
So the whole area of gynecology, obstetrics and gynecology, kind of goes out the door with these 2 docs when they leave, unless we can recruit replacements.
And Young says if the clinic can't recruit new doctors, the women will be forced to go elsewhere. That would mean more trouble for an already overburdened healthcare system for the poor in Tulsa. What children eat today can dramatically affect their health in the future. That's not necessarily news, but listen to this. Researchers recommend all youngsters over age 2 eat a low-fat, low-cholesterol diet to reduce rates of heart disease in adult life. A government report issued today says that children with a family history of high cholesterol, heart disease, and stroke should be regularly tested and watch what they eat. Park rangers, cattle ranchers, and environmental groups in Yellowstone National Park are locking horns over the health of the great American buffalo. Rangers plan to kill 25 bison as part of a scientific study. The buffalo carry an infectious disease that is threatening Montana's cattle industry. Animal rights advocates are upset over the killings and today want a temporary court delay.
In world news, Secretary of State Baker today promised help to Iraqi refugees on the Turkish border. Baker visited tens of thousands of men, women, and children camped in the open mountains without food, medicine, or sanitation. Baker's trip is intended to deflect criticism that the United States is standing by and doing nothing in the Iraqi civil war. In Germany, nightmarish reminders of dark, not-so-long-ago Nazi nights. Germany lifted its visa requirements and opened its borders to the Polish people at midnight last night. But look at the welcome they got. Neo-Nazis greeted the visitors with chants and stones. The German police were slow to intervene, but many of the neo-Nazis were finally arrested, the racism fueled by unemployment and fear that Poles will work in Germany illegally. Talk about coming in on a wing and a prayer. If you happen to look up into the Tulsa skies today, you may have seen this in the air. A C-130, normally used for military transport. This one belongs to La C Ministries. The ministry brought it to take food to needy people in other countries.
Lots of people have tried to do that, but there was something very unique in this idea that he had, which was we have to have our own airlift capability.
This plane was chosen because it can travel 4,000 miles nonstop, carry 35,000 pounds of cargo, and land on a 2,500-foot dirt runway. The Mercy ship is here in town to pick up cargo to take down to Nicaragua.
Time now to find out if we've got any severe weather in green country.
But we could still have some severe weather off to our east and southeast. That severe storm up over Ottawa County is pretty much out of the state now, but they've just issued a severe thunderstorm watch box. I'll show you where and tell you all about it next.
The new Hot Springs, Arkansas. For a free vacation guide, call 1-800-543-BATH.
What's fresh, fast, and delicious?
Taco Bueno.
Every Bueno salad at Taco Bueno.
We put a lot in every bite.
Only Taco Bueno has 3 great Bueno salads to choose from. Our beefy taco salad, our chicken fajita salad, and for only $1.99, our spicy nacho salad. Bueno salads from Taco Bueno. They're fresh, fast, and
delicious.
You got it.
We put a lot in every bite. Taco Bueno.
Call Charles, call Charles, call Charles. For over 30 years, calling Charles Pest Control has ensured the quality pest and termite control services you depend on. Charles Pest Control is this area's largest locally owned and operated pest and termite control company. No one can better protect your home or business with more reliable service at a fair price than Charles. To eliminate any termite, insect, or rodent problem, call Charles, call Charles, call Charles.
I would say that it's educational in that you find out
exactly where your deficiencies are, your weaknesses.
It was fun to see, you know, we kind of compared, you know, results as far as who had the best flexibility and who had the best step test. It was kind of fun to do it in a group.
Join us for the 1991 Get Well Games, April 20th and 21st at Expo Square from Hillcrest Medical Center, KOTV, and sponsored in part by Fitness for Her and Buy for Less food stores.
Looks like the threat of severe weather is really easing up now in eastern Oklahoma, but still a slight threat off to the east of us. Here's Doppler 6 radar, and the big storm that we were watching just moments ago. I wrote a crawl out. You saw the crawl move across the bottom of the screen. A heavy storm that started up around Veneta, headed towards Miami, went severe just in the extreme eastern part of Ottawa County. But as you see, that storm is now over in Missouri, so I think we've lost our chance there. However, there's additional storminess yet to come in from the west, so with still a lot of moisture to the south and east of us, still a slight chance we could have storms erupt down that way yet. Let's take a cross-section over through this storm. As you can see, as it's moving into Missouri, it's really a big one. Top's well over 50,000 feet, and the core of that storm well over near 40,000 feet or so. So very intense storm. Near Wyandotte is where they said it was becoming severe. But we've talked to a lot of law enforcement agencies in Ottawa County. We've had no confirmation of any kind of severe weather with this storm as it moved through and out of Ottawa County. Let me show you a different radar view now. This is the National Weather Service radar. This is ground clutter around Tulsa. It has not rained. 6 o'clock this evening. Put her into motion. You can see this little weak line moving into the northeastern part of our state. See this one little shower here very near the Veneta area? Watch that one bloom. And there it goes. Ran very rapidly up towards Miami. I've stopped it now as the storm was becoming severe. Another cell down here around Stillwell was headed towards Fayetteville. That cell is gone as well. But still, we have this potential for heavy storms off to the south and east of us. Here's a visible satellite view now during the past 24 hours. You can see we were starting to get a little sunshine during the afternoon. That added instability to the atmosphere. And then the upper level storm and the dry line moving in during the evening period. And finally, it was just critical enough that we kicked off a couple light storms that became very, very heavy, potentially severe. It looks like much of the impulse now is over into Missouri and into Arkansas. They've just issued a severe thunderstorm watch. A tornado watch that runs until 4 o'clock this morning. Starts up around the Joplin area, runs down through about Veneta, pretty close to the Pryor region, Okmulgee, and on to the south. So points off east of there under a tornado watch until 4 o'clock this morning, saying it could still happen. We'll watch it very carefully. Here's the dry line yet to move out of eastern Oklahoma. The cooler air now is already dropping through Tulsa. We're at 70, headed down, Oklahoma City 67. There's Ponca City at 61. Currently here in town, we're looking at partly cloudy skies and 70 degrees, a dew point of 60, 71% our relative humidity with a northwesterly breeze. Barometers rising on the hour. Total pollen mold spore count with oak pollen showing up very high, 6,400 plus. How about a look at our temperatures today? 64 was our morning low, 84 degrees was our afternoon high. There's our normal temperature range, 47 and 70, 29, the record low back in 1938. Forecast map for tomorrow afternoon, mild weather for us, the storminess gradually easing off to the east of us later tonight, but another system headed in for Thursday and Friday. Forecast now for this evening period, partly cloudy skies, the heavier storms off to the east, but a tornado watch in effect east and south of us till 4 o'clock in the morning. Slight chance yet of severe weather, 51 degrees. Overnight and early morning, we're talking about mostly cloudy skies and possible showers yet in the morning, 54 at 9. Tomorrow afternoon going to 65, mostly sunny skies and northerly breezes. Outlook's looking good on Wednesday, sunny skies and 72 degrees, but a chilly morning. Thursday and Friday back into the upper 70s, but a very strong storm moving through. We're talking about heavy thunderstorms, potentially severe, Thursday into Friday. Here in Tulsa, we've lost our chance of severe weather at this time, but we're still monitoring east and southeast of us.
That time of year for just changing weather all the time.
It's exciting.
Okay, thanks so much. Well, it's not polka music, so Jim may not appreciate this next story. But some of Tulsa's potentially great musicians went one-on-one tonight. It's the opening round of the Tulsa Best Rock Guitarist Contest, and the rules, well, the heck with the rules. Let's just listen. By the end of the month, the judges will select a winner who will get a chance at a record contract. Little hair always adds to.
Yes, it does. Well, part of that is showmanship.
Absolutely.
I applaud those young men. Well, I think they were young men, weren't they? Yes.
Couldn't tell.
Guitar players are normally young
It's
men.
all that
Those
hair.
look like manly men, I would
Yes.
say, and guitar players.
Who can
John
tell
Wells
anymore,
is
as my
off
father
tonight.
would
That's
say.
right. You can tell that John Anderson is here with tonight's sports, is what we can tell.
And a clean haircut, very clean cut. So, baseball fans dancing in the street because it's the start of the season, opening day. In Texas, a pitcher's duel between a hurler with a 91-mile-an-hour fastball and a politician with a 91% approval rating.
Let your heart race to the rhythm of the horses when they run. Ooh, at Remington Park. Let your heart race. Gotta get away, gotta have some fun. At Remington Park. Let your heart race. Ooh, let your heart race.
If you start any remodeling project without planning carefully, you could be left in the dark.
Honey?
So let the Enlightened Remodeling video light the way. It will guide you through everything from choosing a contractor to creating the beauty of a home lit by window light. The Enlightened Remodeling video, just $2.95 at Anderson Window Center stores.
Kaywood Lumber and Home Center, Mill Creek Lumber and Supply, and Liberty Window and Door Company.
In the business world, what really matters is the bottom line. Well, here in Oklahoma, a lot of smart businesses have chosen PSO's Good Sense program for heating and cooling. Why? It's simple. Saves money. So check out PSO's Good Sense program for your home. Bottom line, if Good Sense makes sense for companies like these, it'll sure make sense for you. The Good Sense home, it's just common sense.
I see people bringing you everything you wish for.
Tell me more.
I see you saving incredible sums of money.
When will this happen?
Tonight. At Shoney's.
Oh, I knew that.
Now I see a special offer.
Where?
Under the logo.
Oh.
Wednesday nights at Shoney's, 2 kids 12 and under can eat free with each adult meal purchase. So, who wants to take us? We promise we'll be good.
When it comes to pitching, the Texas Rangers have never paid much attention to age. Until this season, the 43-year-old Charlie Huff trotted to the Texas Hill. At 45, Nolan Ryan still sends the heat to the plate about 90+, but tonight the Rangers sent out a 65-year-old lefty from Yale to the mound. President George Bush, a former first baseman for the Bulldogs and father of Rangers owner George W. Bush, throwing out the first ball in Arlington. The president later relieved by Nolan Ryan to start the game, and after Gary Sheffield rips this shot down the line, it will score Paul Molitor, and perhaps Bobby Valentine should have stuck with the commander-in-chief after all. Molitor there crosses the plate, giving Milwaukee a 1-zip lead. Still in the first, then Franklin Stubbs lifts this one to center. It gets over the head of the outfield. Gary Pettis back can't get to it. Another run scores. Rangers can't recover. Totals from Texas, Milwaukee 5, and the Rangers 4. Closer to D.C., the Veep handling the ceremony. Stan Quayle tossing the first pitch at the Baltimore Orioles-Chicago White Sox game. Like his boss, Quayle probably a better hurler than the guy who started the game for the Orioles, Jeff Ballard. Former driller Sammy Sosa sends the pill out of Memorial Stadium for a 3-run dinger. Sox take the opener 9-1. Neither Quayle nor Bush the pitchers of record today. In Kansas City, the post-Bo era began well enough for the Royals. Fresh from Los Angeles, Kirk Gibson hits the first triple in 3 years. And the '85 World Champs take the first of 162 games this season, 4-2. Elsewhere in the AL, Detroit knocks off New York 6-4 in the very first game of the season, and Boston beats Toronto 6-2. In the spirit of the day, the umpires ended their 2-day walkout. They'll be back on the bases and patrolling the plate tomorrow. The new deal raises the salary of a rookie ump to $61,000. Umps with 25 or more years of service, a pay hike to $175,000.
So this is one of those.
The last game with replacement refs tonight's in Pittsburgh. The LA champion, or the National League champion Pirates against the Expos. Ivan Calderon, just over from the Sox, takes Cy Young winner Doug Drabick deep. It's a 2-run blast. It's enough because the Bucks get just one hit. Montreal a winner tonight, 7-0. Numbers from the National League's opening day. World champs Cincinnati defeat Houston 6-2, and the New York Mets get by Philly 2-1.
Tulsa baseball gets underway this Thursday. The Drillers and the parent club Texas Rangers playing an exhibition game. Then on Friday, the Jackson Generals in town to christen the new-look Drillers Stadium for Texas League play. Rating the college clubs the best of the bunch, ORU, the Titans 4 in the NIA behind North Florida. Division I baseball, America's poll puts OSU at number 13 and Oklahoma number 18. The Stanford Cardinal ranked number 1 there. Academic and athletic officials at the University of Arkansas are at odds over a report by the school's Judiciary Board. The subject of the report is February's sexual incident involving 4 basketball players. The SAFU, the disciplinary action taken by Coach Nolan Richard and AD Frank Broyles, was less severe than the punishment suggested by University Chancellor Daniel Ferreter. Richardson has suspended 1 player for 3 games at the start of next season. Broyles says he and the coach weighed all options, including that of the chancellors, and feel they've taken the correct action. Well, no more college problems for Georgia Tech guard Kenny Anderson. The Yellow Jacket star sophomore will forgo his final 2 years to enter the NBA draft in June. As a freshman, Anderson helped lead Tech to the Final Four. Anderson averaged 26 points and 6 assists for the past season. Anderson's soon-to-be playing peers tonight in San Antonio, Spurs and the Warriors. Terry Cummings with a sportsmanship award tonight. Not very sportsman to Golden State. He hits 2 of his 20 there. Cummings again, this time from Rod Strickland, head of the free throw line. Score from the hemisphere. Spurs win 115-105. And what is quickly becoming the traditional feature here on Monday night, the World League of American Football. No helmet cam tonight, just regular football. Birmingham and Montreal fumble it, and come up with it is Richard Shelton. Takes time to find the names of these guys because nobody knows who they are. He vaults in the end for 7. Okay, so we lied. We have a little helmet cam. Wayne Peace taking this shot to the back. Birmingham behind 21-7 in the 4th quarter. And, you know, we figured, I didn't want to use it, but then they put it in a defensive player's helmet, and so we had, you know, I had to show it. Yeah.
Right.
And my hand was forced by this thing.
This is not helping that program up there in terms of its attractiveness on television or its attractiveness to the fans, I suppose. I mean, who wants to see football in the summertime? Come on.
Well, now that baseball started, not many people, but for 4 weeks there, it was pretty good. I don't know. If this thing keeps going in, it's great.
But they're going to continue with the helmet cam, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well,
that's perfect.
Do that and
smack and listen to it, and you don't have to hurt.
Blowing them up as they're on the field. Thank you very much. Coming up next now, from baseball's pop-outs to classroom dropouts.
One Green Country community knows a way to get those students back in the game.
With real cola taste, just 1 calorie, and 100% NutraSweet, nothing says real refreshment quite like Diet Coke. Nothing.
Just for the taste of it, Diet Coke.
The Baron home tonight. Red Baron frozen pizza.
For years, if you wanted a beautiful, healthy lawn, you had to collect your grass clippings in a container like this. But Toro recycler mowers cut without bagging, turning clippings into fine pieces that become a natural fertilizer, not thatch. So, for a beautiful, healthy lawn today, you don't have to put your clippings into this container. You can simply put them into this one. See the complete line of Toro recycler mowers at these Toro dealers.
Welcome to the battle between the almighty dollar and the little common sense. There's the bell. What a fight. A left, right, left. Oh, the dollar is in trouble. It's down, the dollar.
You bet it's down, because from now on, McDonald's original juicy hamburger is just 49 cents. Delicious cheeseburger, 59 cents, and tasty sausage biscuit, 69 cents. So come to McDonald's, where the little common sense win big. Our new real value menu. You'll love the change at McDonald's.
One last look at our weather, Jim.
And we finally have that tornado watch plotted. First of all, let me show you Doppler 6. Up in the northeastern corner of the state, still some moderately heavy storms with the potential for increasing in strength. Ottawa and Delaware counties, up around Grand Lake on up towards the Miami area. Now let me show you that new tornado watch that was just issued until 4 o'clock this morning. Runs from Miami to Ada. That includes Pryor, Wagner, just through about the Coweta area, just barely east and south of the Okmulgee region. Henrietta is included, Holdenville, McAllister, Fort Smith. Tulsa is not included. Still that potential then for storm development east and southeast of us. I'm going to monitor it yet for another hour or so just in case something explodes. The city of Tulsa, I think, is safe. I think we're out of the woods.
It looks like we're right on the line, actually, from where they were drawing it, and these things always move from west to east.
Right.
And so it looks like we'll be okay.
Yeah, we've started to dry out. I think we're in good shape.
Thank you for hanging out anyway, Jimmy. Some good news now. The Muskogee School District has come up with a way to keep students in school. Next month, the district's Dropout Prevention Program will receive the Foundation of Excellence Award, established by Oklahoma Senator David Boren. Channel 6 education reporter Kim Graham went to Muskogee today, where students are off the streets because they're staying in school.
12-year-old Kaylin Miller has her hands full these days learning how to be a mother to 2-month-old Chelsea. When she found out she was pregnant, her first thought was to drop out of school. The alternative was to come here to the Continuing Learning Center, and she's getting all the classes she needs.
Reading and math and social studies and English and science.
Pregnancy is just one of the many reasons students drop out of school. The Dropout Prevention Program is designed to meet the educational and emotional needs of its students in a setting that's comfortable to them. It's also reaching students outside the classroom.
We have established study centers throughout the communities in the housing projects and in some of the building sites that allow kids to come in and study twice a week.
19-year-old Jack Mike dropped out of school last year after a long suspension. The program was a way for him to drop back in. Next month, he'll graduate from school.
It was hard at first because I didn't catch on the way things were, and I really didn't understand everything. I didn't know that you could talk to the teachers and they would give you like a decent answer. But after a while, you know, you begin to open up and you catch on.
The Dropout Prevention Program is barely 2 years old and at this point can only handle about 100 students. Counselors are just now beginning to compile statistics, but they already feel it's a success.
I'd have to say it was successful because the kids are coming to the Continuing Learning Center that normally wouldn't be in school at all.
And for these students, that's the bottom line. Kim Graham, Channel 6 News, Muskogee.
The recognition there is from the Foundation for Excellence, which was established by Senator Boren several years ago and is already starting to show up in programs like that, and it's well-deserved recognition.
And we'd like to see more programs like
Yes.
that. And that's the news. Is it time to plan proms already? It is for some students planning for a sober graduation, and 6 in the morning brings you the story.
For now, thank you for sharing your time. Good night.
Good night.